Good morning. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are in our 100-day countdown to the election, but we know that between now and the presidential election, we have a lot to get through.
Mhm.
So how lovely that we have this Shabbat. It will end with Slichot. This Shabbat before Rosh Hashanah is always a special service, typically at the Chatzot at midnight,
Chatzot.
right, where the heavens are open to our yearning, our prayer,
Our remonstrations,
our
our aspirations,
and also
all our prayers of peace and aspirations.
Yeah, and also our work on these holy days, which is, the Cheshbon HaNefesh, the inventory of the soul, which requires slichot, which requires forgiveness. There's a lot to be forgiven for this year. And on Yom Kippur, so we do our personal work. We ask forgiveness of those we've hurt. We ask forgiveness from God. We ask forgiveness from ourselves. And then on Yom Kippur, if we're really ready, we take on the sins of the world and ask forgiveness as a collective.
We take on the great heart of the world.
Yeah, as a collective. And that's important because, ultimately the truth is that we're all one. And we're killing ourselves when we kill each other. And, I think that's the message of these holy days. I often say when we read chapter 21 of Genesis on the first day of Rosh Hashanah and 22 on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, what we're saying is that if we're willing to sacrifice the child of Hagar, the other, then the very next chapter we'll be sacrificing our own children, which is always what happens. Always what happens. If we don't take care of everyone, everyone will suffer. So we go into the Shabbat with hope, because Shabbat is a taste of the world to come, that this passage between now and then with Rosh Hashanah, with Yom Kippur, with the days of awe, with October 7th, with all of the things we need to get through, that somehow something good will come.
Let me do some peacemaking through my hands.
Okay, some peacemaking. All right, so we've been using two different texts. Jim's latest book called Vigil, which he wrote after October 7th, which was a vigil, kind of how do you get through each day, and he wrote pieces for each day. And we've also been using Mesilat Yesharim by Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, who, takes us through, there you go, and it takes us through these kind of sensibilities that we have to work through to becoming a pious person, the best person we can be. And the one that we've gotten to is translated as abstinence, but it's not really abstinence, right? It's about
separation.
Right. Separation.
Separate from the pollutants.
Right, exactly.
You know what they are.
Yeah, we do. We do. But it's interesting because this is almost like Biddle, it's like the separation is you make you take up less space to make room for holiness. And in piousness, in the last place, it's kind of the opposite. It's the balance. You take in the holiness so you can be part of it. Right. So we need both. And this is the path to being the best people we can be.
How friends behave. This is how friends behave. They do not try to solve problems for you, especially problems that are generational, geopolitical, nuanced. Good word, friends will use it. Friends will not act as translators for you, translating histories and hate, traumatic and difficult, into simplistic victims versus victimizers. Friends listen well. They will ask how you feel. You certainly feel vulnerable, often isolated and misunderstood. Friends will sense that. They will ask rather than tell. Good friends will ask how you think, who you are. How many friends do you need, you might ask yourself. When you are a child, one or two will suffice. When you grow up and become a people, you will need more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we do. We need friends. We need allies. We need to know that when we're standing together, that we're all getting each other's backs, that we would all stand with each other, right? What if? So we're getting to the end of the book of Deuteronomy. Moses is furiously telling us what we need to remember with prose and poetry, with blessing.
I have a piece for this portion.
You do? Yeah, let's end with that. Okay. Let's end with that because we're getting to the end of Deuteronomy. We'll get through these holy days and start again with Bereshit.
Start again, huh? Start again. Oh my God. Okay. Yes, indeedy. We are standing today, all of us, big shots, chumps, children, wives, and sweethearts, and the stranger that is within all of us, the humble and the almost forgotten before God. From the hewers of wood to the carriers of water, all of us, every busy one of us today, this day, important. To cut a deal so that you will remember the deal, but not for us alone, not for us who are here today, but for those of us who are not here today. Your children who shall come up after you, strangers, the future, the ones without voice, everyone. For this deal that I set before you this day, you know which one I mean. It is not too far from you that you should say, who shall go for us? Nor is it too hard for you that you should say, who will do this for us? It is not in heaven, and it is not hidden. It is not distant, but right here, under your nose. It is in your mouth and in your heart. It is sitting next to you on the bench, waiting with you for the bus. It is standing on the corner in front of the coffee shop, waiting for the light to change. It is standing in line, waiting to vote close, that you should do it. Look, see, I have placed before you the life and the good, and death and darkness. Choose light, be thoughtful, and walk like God. Do the right things, the simple things, and the complex things. Figure out what you can for yourself and be wise together. Then you will multiply, and God will grow you and bless you. But if you don't listen and fly away, I think that you will be lost, and your days will not be lengthened on the land. So I call heaven and earth together to witness for you and against you. I have placed life and death before you, blessing and curse, light and dark. Choose life, choose blessing. God promised your ancestors. God promised them. This I swear. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate